Something that might surprise you is that I grew my business faster in my first 2 years when I had a full time job and only 15 hours a week than I did in the next 2 years when I first went full time and suddenly had 40 hours or more available. Wait, what? You might be thinking time equals more growth, right? But what actually happened when I had limited hours, every single decision mattered. I couldn't afford to waste time on things that didn't move the needle. I had to be ruthlessly strategic about what I said yes to. Then, when I went full time, and suddenly I had all this space. And you know what I did? I filled it with busy work. I said yes to everything. I lost my discernment because I thought I had time to spare. That experience taught me something most business owners get backwards and take a really long time, like me, to learn. Boundaries don't limit growth, they focus it. So today we're tackling the question that I hear constantly about from people who want to scale but have real time and capacity constraints. Is it actually possible to grow a business when you have limited hours, capacity boundaries, and non negotiables you can't or won't compromise? The answer is yes, but only if you do it strategically. Just work harder, show up everywhere, post 3 times a day, be consistent. These are all examples of what most business advice sounds like when you have boundaries. And you're sitting there thinking, cool, but I have 20 hours a week, a chronic condition, and a kid who needs me to focus on them by 3 p.m. So how exactly does that work? Most scaling advice is built for people with unlimited capacity. It assumes you can just add more content, more clients, more offers, more hours. Scaling with boundaries, though, requires next level discernment and intentional choices about where your limited time and energy actually go. After 11 years of running this business and working with hundreds of clients, I've learned that the business owners who scale sustainably are not the ones working 70-hour weeks. Duh, obviously. They're the ones who've gotten crystal clear on 3 things. Number one, what actually makes a difference in their business, right? What actually moves the needle forward? It's not everything, just the highest leverage activities that create real momentum. Second, whether their business model actually works within their capacity, not just in theory, not just on paper, but in actual reality. And third, which strategic levers they can pull when the math doesn't line up, right? If one or two doesn't work out, right? Third, we need to start working with that math and working with those strategic levers. So in this video, we're going to look at the number one boundary that affects everything else, which is time, and specifically how to make your offers and your lead generation work within your actual available capacity and hours that you have available. So if you've been wondering whether it's possible to scale without sacrificing your boundaries, I'm going to show you exactly how the math works and what to do when it doesn't. The first boundary we need to talk about is time, because everything else in your business flows from how many hours you have available. And I don't mean once things calm down capacity, not if I could get more organized capacity, but right now in this season with everything else going on in your life, how many hours do you realistically need for your business each week? And how many do you have each week for your business? For some of you, it's 10 hours. For others, it's 25. Maybe you're at 40. There's no perfect answer, just your answer. But here's where most business owners get stuck. They look at their available hours and immediately think that's not enough to scale. So they either push past their boundaries and burn out, or they stay stuck at the same revenue level, convinced that they can't grow unless they magically come up with more time. Both of these are wrong, because the question isn't, do I have enough time to scale? The question is, does my business model work within the time limit I have? And if it doesn't, you have some strategic options. You're not stuck. You just need to make intentional choices. So let's break this down into 2 parts. First, whether your offers work within your capacity, then whether your lead generation works within your capacity. Let's start with your offers, because that is where most people discover that their business model is kind of broken, right? They're trying to hit a revenue goal that requires more delivery hours than they have available, and they wonder why they're constantly overwhelmed. So we're going to run some capacity math. Part 1, capacity math basics. Here's what you need to know. Every business sits somewhere on what I call the work distribution spectrum. On one end, you've got one-to-one models where most of your time goes to delivery. Think coaching, consulting, done-for-you services. On the other end, you've got scalable one-to-many models where most of your time goes to marketing and lead generation. Think courses, memberships, digital products. Neither is better, but they require a very different time investments. And if you don't understand where your business sits on the spectrum, you'll constantly feel like you're doing something wrong. Another big issue that I see come up is people have like hybrid models, right? Where they have a bunch of digital products and these like more scalable models, as well as this one-to-one, and they're trying to do both. And where they feel that push and pull, right, is they're needing all this delivery time because of their one-to-one offers and all of the lead gen time as well because of their digital scalable offers where most of the work is in lead gen. And that doesn't add up with the capacity they have available. So it's just a question to ask yourself. That's a tangent. So let me break down both sides. So for one-to-one offers, if you're selling one-to-one offers, your formula is you want to take your monthly revenue goal and divide it by your offer price. This is going to tell you how many clients you need every single month. Then you're going to multiply that number of clients by how much time each client takes to deliver. That's your delivery hours. I want to make sure that you also account for the customer service, the back and forth, add some buffer in there, right, to truly get an accurate picture. And if you have extra time, fantastic. That's always a bonus. Then add in your marketing time and your admin time, and there's your total hours required. Let's look at an example. So say your revenue goal is 10,000 a month. Your coaching package is 2,000. You need 5 clients. So each client takes about 2 hours a week to deliver. So that's 10 hours just for delivery. If you add 15 hours for marketing admin, now you're at 25 hours total, but you only have 20 hours available per week. The math doesn't work. This is the moment that most business owners just push through and burn out, but you have options. For one-to-many offers, we're going to look at the other side. So with scalable offers, your formula changes because you're not adding delivery hours for every new student or customer, maybe a few, but like not like a per student basis. You might have more customer service hours or something like that, but it's much, much smaller. Instead, you've got your base delivery hours for content creation plus your marketing hours. So same revenue goal, $10,000 a month, but now your offer is $500. So you need 20 students a month to hit your goal. Your base delivery time is about 5 hours a week to create and maintain the content, plus provide customer service and engagement if you have any like kind of group aspects as well. Then marketing is 15 hours a week and admin is around 5 hours. So total is 25 hours. One-to-many offers don't mean less work, they mean different work. With one-to-one models, you're usually spending about 70% of your time on delivery and 30% on lead generation. But with scalable models, that flips. You're usually spending around 30% on delivery and 70% on lead generation. So if you hate marketing, a premium one-to-one model might actually be more sustainable because it requires far less leads for you to reach your revenue goals than a course that requires constant lead generation. So the question isn't which model is better, the question is which model fits your capacity and your energy. All right, so you've run your numbers and maybe you're realizing that your current model doesn't fit your available hours. Now what? You have 3 strategic levers you can pull, and these are your scaling levers. Lever 1 is pricing. So you could raise your prices so you need fewer clients to hit your revenue goals. Going back to our earlier example, if you raise that $2,000 package to $2,500, you'd only need 4 clients instead of 5. That's 2 fewer delivery hours a week. And suddenly your 25-hour model becomes 23 hours, but it still doesn't fit perfectly in that 20 hours a week, but we're getting closer, right? If pricing feels hard to change, that's usually a positioning issue. Lever 2 is offer design. You could change the delivery format without changing the transformation. Maybe you take that one-to-one group coaching program and turn it into a small group program instead. Same transformation, less one-on-one time, or maybe you turn your done for you service into a done with you or a VIP day format so it fits within one day. Or you could take something you're delivering live and create an evergreen version. There are dozens of ways to restructure how you deliver your offers to reduce the time investment without reducing the impact. Lever number 3 is your marketing strategy. You can make your lead generation more efficient. This is like one of the number one things that I see when I'm going into businesses and auditing kind of what's going on here, like why they're not scaling. So if you're spending 15 hours a week creating organic content, what if you invested some of that time into paid ads that bring in leads while you're sleeping, right? Or what if you built a strategic partnership that sends qualified leads your way without you having to create content constantly? You can focus more on the relationship side if that's your strength. This is where the time versus money decision comes in. If you have more money than time, invest in systems or support that reduce your marketing hours. The key is this: when your capacity and your revenue goals don't line up, you're not stuck. You just need to make an intentional choice about which lever to pull or ease up on. Now let's talk about the other side of capacity, lead generation. Because even if your offers fit beautifully within your delivery capacity, you still need a way to consistently bring new people into your world. And that takes time too. Here is like where I see a lot of business owners get overwhelmed. They think they have to be everywhere, right? In order to make this work, they got to be on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest. They got to have a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel. And when you have limited hours, that strategy is a recipe for burnout. So let's bring in what I call the discernment matrix that I mentioned earlier in this. So this is my remixed version of the Eisenhower matrix, but instead of urgent versus important, we're looking at impact versus investment. So draw a simple grid. Your horizontal axis is investment, so how much time and energy something requires. Your vertical axis is impact. How much revenue or growth does this actually potentially create? This gives you 4 quadrants. Top left is high impact, low investment. These are your quick wins, the things that move the needle without consuming all of your time. This is where you want to spend the most of your energy and tackle those things first. Then top right is high impact, high investments. These are strategic projects. They matter, but they need careful planning because they take significant time. Bottom left is low impact, low investment. These are things you can usually delegate, automate, or even eliminate. They're not really worth your time, even if they're easy, unless you have an abundance of time. The bottom right is your low impact, high investment. This is the burnout zone. Stop doing these things immediately. What I've noticed with almost every single client I work with is that they're spending 60% of their time in that bottom right quadrant, high investment, low impact. They're creating content that doesn't convert. They're on platforms where their ideal clients aren't engaging with them. They're doing busy work that feels productive but doesn't actually create revenue. When you have boundaries, you cannot afford that. You need to be ruthlessly focused on that top left quadrant. How to apply this in lead gen is to look at all of the ways that you're currently trying to generate leads and put each one on this matrix. Where does it sit? High impact, low investment, or high investment, low impact? For most business owners with limited capacity, the answer is to pick 1 or 2 high leverage lead generation strategies and go deep with these instead of trying to be everywhere. Maybe that's a weekly newsletter that nurtures your audience and drives them towards your offers. Maybe it's strategic partnerships with people who already have your ideal clients in their own audiences. Maybe it's paid ads that bring in qualified leads while you focus on delivery and sales conversations. Maybe it's a simple content system where you create one long form piece of content a week and repurpose it across multiple platforms. The specific strategy matters less than discernment. You need to know what actually works for your business and double down on that instead of spreading yourself thin across a dozen half-executed tactics. And if you have more money than time, this is where you invest. Hire someone to help you create content, invest in ads, bring in support so you can focus on the highest leverage activities that only you can do. Because the fastest path to scaling when you have boundaries isn't doing more yourself, it's building systems and getting support that multiplies your capacity. So here's where you might be thinking, all right, Haley, this makes sense, but I need help actually figuring out my numbers and deciding which levers to pull. That's exactly why I created my free Lifestyle First business model template. It is a completely free resource that walks you through the exact process we just talked about. You'll map out your capacity constraints, run your offer math, figure out your revenue requirements, and identify where your business model needs to shift. It's not a generic business plan template. It's specifically designed for business owners who want to scale without sacrificing their boundaries. You'll get the canvas, the workbook, and a full private podcast series that walks you through each step by step of the process. And the best part is it takes everything we talked about today and turns it into a clear plan that you can actually use to make strategic decisions about your business. I'll pop the link in the description if you want to check it out. This is the foundation for everything else. Because if you don't know whether your business model actually works within your capacity, you're just guessing, and guessing leads to burnout. So go grab the template, work through it, and get the clarity you need to scale sustainably. I want to come back to the question that we started with. Is it possible to scale a business with boundaries? Yes, absolutely yes, but not by accident. Not just by working harder or hustling more or pushing through your limits. You scale with boundaries by being strategic, by understanding the math, by making intentional choices about where your time goes, by pulling the right levers when things don't line up and the math doesn't work. Constraints don't limit growth, they focus clarity, and clarity is the foundation of every sustainable business out there. So if you're feeling like your boundaries are holding you back, I want you to flip that thinking. Your boundaries are your competitive advantage. They're forcing you to be more strategic than business owners who think they have unlimited time. Use them, build around them, let them guide you towards a business model that actually works for your life.